Well, good morning, everybody. Now, I know I hadn't been out in a couple weeks here, and we had a death in the family last week, so that's pretty much why we weren't doing any kind of video or anything. But now we're gonna get back with it, and I'm gonna come out here. We're going to the garden right now. I'm gonna show you exactly what my plan is. There's a lot of things that are changing as of now because we haven't had rain in a while, and things have died out, and I have a couple things that are left, but we're going to make a complete change to this entire garden, and I plan on doing some raised beds instead of all in-ground beds next year. So I'm gonna turn you around and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm planning on doing. All right, now that I got you turned around, I'm gonna come back over here toward the corn, and we're gonna look back. So the corn's not doing that well. It had some wind problems. Lots and lots of wind comes from this way. This is the that's south basically, so this is like the southwest or whatever, and so all that wind just that right into here. So we get tons and tons of wind that just blows over everything. Anyway, so but the corn here, it's not doing so great mostly because of the wind. There are earwigs that I had to deal with this year, just like I'm sure everybody has to deal with, and that's the reason why they spray the corn. But not planning on spraying anything special. We do plan on, taking a precaution next year and spraying ahead, or getting rid of, figuring out a way to stop the earwigs from taking over the entire corn, because it's pretty much just decimated the entire crop. So, but that's another day. Anyway, so we did clear out this section here, and this is going to be where we're going to start this new project here with our new raised beds. This is a 24-foot raised bed here, and this one here is way too expensive, so we're not gonna do this again. But if you want to go this route, this is a pretty good route. The Roots and Refuge Farm is the where we got this kind of design from. I didn't do it exactly like they did, but it's pretty much the same thing, close to it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put four 8-foot beds this way. One there, one here, one there, and one there. And then that way we'll have at least a 2 to 3 foot walkway this way, and a 2 to 3 foot walkway down that side, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 beds. And then over here where the teepee is, okay, we're going to leave the teepee here. I'm going to move the archway either back there or over here at the beginning, and then there's going to be cattle panels that are going to be trellised over this walkway. That way it all kind of leads into like a tunnel that leads into the teepee. And then we're going to have all these kind of vining, cucumbers or squash or whatever is going to be on there. So basically we're going to do a huge garden that's going to be mostly trellised garden, and it's going to be for cucumbers, squash, zucchini, the summer squashes that vine, the any kind of melons that we're going to have. We're going to have cantaloupes and watermelons, and I want to look into trying to get some of those peach melons, and just all kinds of different things that we're planning on growing here. But then we're going to have 4 beds here, and then over here where I've put the this here is a flower bed. And I'm gonna try to leave this as a flower bed. So I'm gonna make, we're gonna do the raised bed type thing all the way out here on the side, and then come back into the end. This is gonna be a 24-foot flower bed. Now, over here, currently I have peppers. I had onions over here, but they didn't do well. I had peppers, and then I had all my squash here. These 2 rows of here were squash. I had yellow crookneck squash, and then some spaghetti squash, and then butternut squash, and then I had my zucchinis at the bottom there, at the back there. Now I'm going to take all of this down. All of this is going to be taken down. All of this will be removed, and we're going to put more beds. I'm not sure if we're going to do them this way, long ways this way, or long ways this way, down. But I've got these 2 rows here, this row, all to do. And then All right, so we're back over here. I was standing right over there, so now I'm over here on this side. See, that way you can see from a different angle. I've got the tomatoes right there, and then the entrance to the garden is going to be right there. So there's the tomatoes there. Now I'm going to move the tomatoes again. It's going to be like a wall or something there where the walkway is. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to do this way or this way on my beds, but I'm going to have way more beds here and here. We're going to move all of this stuff. It's all going to be just cut down and laid down or whatever it's going to be done to it, and then it's going to be great. All right, so now just again for reference, I was just standing there. Just before I was standing back over there, and now I'm standing here because I want to show you this. This is the tomatoes here. This is the entrance to the garden. Now there's a huge section that goes from this pole all the way over to almost that corner there, and that corner leads all the way back in a straight line all the way to the raised bed corner there. So the corn is just on that side of that line, but if you go from this line, you know, basically from that corner to that raised bed or that back of the teepee, and then from this corner all the way back here to this pole, this is also going to be beds here. And so we're going to have a huge section here, a huge section back over there, back over here, and in front of this. Now, and then after that, bear with me here, from this corner, actually, wait a minute. After that, from this corner, okay, and from here, pretty much over to this corner here. So we're going to have kind of a, yeah, so there's going to be like a fence wall here. This is the plan. May not happen, but this is the plan. We're gonna have a fenced wall here, and then this is gonna run all the way down. So there's the tomatoes there. It's gonna run on this side of the tomato plants and all the way down to the fence line. Okay, it's gonna be like a big, huge rectangle pen, and I'm planning on putting my chickens right back over here, I think, behind the beds, and then there'll be like a fenced-in area where the garden is there. So the chickens are going to go back there. They're going to have a whole huge area to run around in. And I don't know, we'll see. I'm not really sure when the chickens will be, but probably not this year. So now here we are at the asparagus bed. There's a little bit of grass growing, as you can see. I don't see any asparagus popping up. There's a few little sprouts that were already there when we planted them. But I think we're going to have to redo this next year for the most part. We're going to have to kill all the grass down, and then we'll replant the asparagus on top of it once we get the grass killed off in the spring. And then I have a random, everybody talks about volunteer plants, and I've had 2 of these volunteer cucumber plants to grow. I don't know where they came from because I have not grown. These are like, they're like pickling cucumbers, I think. And I did not grow them, so I'm not sure where they came from, but they're there. Now, just so we can keep the reference, there's a cucumber plant, here's the asparagus bed. And then just behind the asparagus bed, there's the greenhouse. Okay. It's asparagus bed greenhouse. Now, I put all these pallets back here. They were sitting over there at my house. They were sitting back over there. And then I moved them over here. Just so we can get them out of the way and away from the house. And then I'll stack them all the way up down, you know, down this way. We can just get them out over there. The greenhouse in itself, it's going to have some work done to it. As you can see, there's a jungle growing in here, and it's needs to be cut down. And my tarp fell down. It got too much sun. The sun killed it. But I already knew that was going to happen, so we'll take that down, get all this cut out, and I'm going to put some fabric in here, some plastic or something. It's either fabric or plastic, either one, and figure out what's better. And then that way I don't have to worry about this anymore. So I'm getting tired of dealing with grass. I'm going to show you real quick the teepee. As you go in, it's starting to, the pole was way up there, And here's the pole now, and you can see it is all grown right over the top of that. Now I want to show you this. This is so cool. I think this is the interesting part about this teepee is if you look right up here, the cross section to where the poles come together and form the top of the teepee are right here, you know, and so that's where the cross section is. But all of this right here, all of this has just like vined up the side of it, and it's full of flowers, it's full of bees. I think this is my most successful project of the year. So you see, look at all those flowers up there, it's crazy. See all those, I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but there's a lot of them up there. And they're all over here, they're not bloomed all out right now. They were bloomed out this morning. And man, these bees have been working. Got the cucumbers growing. Anyway, so we'll take you inside real fast. You see the inside. There's more cucumbers growing. I've got these right here, these cucumbers here. I got this one right here. This one sucker is thick. This sucker here is thick. We're gonna get some good seeds out of that this year. Good bees. Anyway, but look at this. Look at all those cucumbers, if you can get in there and see them. There's more down there on the bottom there. And then over here on this side of the trellis, you see all them cucumbers growing? Yeah. Little bees. Now, as you can see, I mean, it's growing. Everything's doing pretty good. Now I'm gonna go take you over here to the food forest area, and I'm gonna show you real quick exactly just what we've got going on over here, because it doesn't seem to be doing as great. All right, so here we are walking toward the food forest area, which we've completely changed out, and we're gonna do something different. Right here, I've got, where is it? Right there. Some rosemary growing, which we're going to end up moving over to the flower bed that's over there. So we're going to move the flower bed over there, and then that way the rosemary can stay alive. I did have a row of things here. There was a couple cucumbers, and I tried to do a kiwi plant over there, but it did not do very well. So once that died, we just kind of decided we're going to take up the trellis and the poles that we had here. All right, now the food forest area, it is kind of devastating at the moment, because I've decided to take down the poles that were here for the grapes, and also the poles that were here for the blackberries. And we're just not going to do any of those over here on this side. I'm going to try to move them over there to the greenhouse somewhere. We're going to figure out a spot over there for them. We're going to leave our trees. We're going to leave our pear tree, and then we have the apple tree, and then a plum, and then another pear, and then a red delicious, a fig, plum, Jonah gold apple, I think, and then another fig, and then a peach tree here at the end. And so we're going to leave those trees there. We're also going to leave this yellow forsythia that is here in the center. We're going to leave this one here, and then we're also, I think that's it for that. So it's basically going to have a corner that's going to go from this tree, this pear tree over here, all the way to the forsythia, and it's going to go to this last the peach tree back here in the back. So yeah, that one there. And then that way it'll have kind of just a line that goes across, and it'll be kind of more diagonal on the road, or from the road. And then, all right, so here I am looking at it from the other side, and I was standing back over there next to that peach tree. And then we're kind of just going to have a diagonal that's going to go this way. And then from this point here, where I was just standing right over there, I moved over here. This is the corner, and we're going to have a line of trees that goes from this corner all the way down. I currently have 6 trees in this line, and then that pole that's down there, the big pole right there, we're going to run the line all the way down to that pole and have trees. They're all the way down there about every 10 feet. I can fit 9 more trees down that line into that pole. So, and then once we get to that pole, we're going to stay out about 10 feet from the pole so the cows don't get into the plants. And then we're going to move this way, and work our way back up the fence line. That way we'll have behind where we did try to do the kiwi, and I have the rosemary currently, we're going to have a bunch of trees and everything back here instead. So it's going to go from that corner there all the way to that pole. And then the rest of that right there will just be the side yard. And then we'll have our little orchard back there next to the fence. So I don't have to worry about it being too close to the house, or, you know, that way my wife can still have a backyard. And then we'll clear this section out to where I can mow this down, and it'll clear it all the way to wherever we decide to start back there. Now, a reason why I want to do trellising is pretty much stuff like this. This is decimated. I don't know what did this. I don't know if it was a dog or if it was a raccoon or a armadillo or a possum, or don't know. But this is the kind of stuff that I have to deal with whenever it's on the ground. I've got several watermelons growing out through here in the forest area, or the food forest area. We just kind of stuck them out here to see if they would do anything, and because the ground out here was pretty good, so we decided to stick them out here to see if they would do anything. We have been able to get a couple watermelons off of it. Here's a nice one there. Looks like it's starting to get going. Here's another one right here. There's gonna be some little bitty watermelons. These are little mini ones. I'll show you some really little ones. Here's another one here. Good size. That's about done too. And here's another one here. And then you want to see some really little ones. We got little mini ones, little babies. That one's going to be done here soon too. It's probably done already. Little babies. I also got little cantaloupes here. A little baby cantaloupe. It won't get much bigger than this. Maybe about the size of my hand, maybe a little bit bigger. But if I can keep the dogs or the animals out of it, like that watermelon over there, then maybe we can have some nice cantaloupes this year too. But we already had one this year, and it was all right. It was pretty good. It was real sweet, and my wife said it was a good cantaloupe. So I'm not usually, greatly a fan, but that's okay. So we're gonna grow all those on the trellises next year over in the garden, because this is just not working out as well as we want it to. So I wanted to show y'all real quick. One way to, I see a lot of people that have a hard time figuring out when to pick a watermelon. And I want to show y'all real quick. This right here, if you can see this is the watermelon stem right here. It's coming out of the watermelon from the plant right here into the watermelon. Now there's a little tendril thing, little grabber thing right here. Now you got one here, and you got one just before, and you got one just after. Okay. Now if you want, and don't pick this watermelon until this tendril, this one, and this one are all brown and dead. You have to wait till these three are dead. That way all the sugars and everything are back into that watermelon and ready to go. If you wait and let that do it, let them die, then it'll be good. If you pick it too early, this watermelon is going to be white inside, or it's not going to be red. It's going to be a little pinkish, and it's just not going to be sweet. It's not going to be good. You have to wait till they die. Now I'm going to find another one over here. Let's see. See this one right here. This one's a good example. This one here, here's the tendril that goes to the watermelon. Okay, right there. It's almost there. It's not gone yet. But if you look at this one's brown, and the one after it, it's brown. But this one here is almost brown. So this one's not done yet. Maybe another day, and then this watermelon, he'll be ready. I see a lot of people that want to look at the light spot or the spidering on the watermelon, or you hit it or something like that to make sure it's hollow. But if you make sure and you wait till this particular one, the one after it, and the one before it are dead, then it's ready to go. Here's another example right here. You can see here's the stem that comes out, and then you have its tendril thing here. That's probably not the right word, I'm sure. But anyway, its grabber deal here. It's still green. The one after it is gone and dead. The one before it is gone and dead. So you just want to make sure, you know, you want to wait until this one here is gone. And then this little tomato, or this little watermelon here will be ready to go once those are dead. Well, I just want to say I appreciate everybody sticking around today. Now, we're going to have a lot of plans going on here in the garden. We've got lots of projects and everything, and I hope everybody, you know, tunes in and sees what we're going to do. I'm going to come in here real quick and get me a cucumber to eat. And then, anyway, so here's the cucumber. All right, well, I appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good one.
Let's go!